Hello everyone, welcome back to another interesting tutorial. So my name is Miro. If you are new here, you're welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, you're also welcome. So in today's tutorial, we'll be learning about the cutting and the sewing of this beautiful ball gown dress, okay, with a ruffled sleeve. So if it's something you're interested in learning, you will definitely keep on watching, and let's get started with the tutorials. So I have this piece of fabric here, so I'm going to measure the shoulder measurement divided by 2, okay. So I went in down to the armhole line, which I use 5.5 inch. So I'm going to connect it like so. The next thing I'll be doing right now is that I'm going to be measuring the neckline. I use 2.5 inch for the width, while 3 inch for the depth for the neckline, okay. So I'm going to connect both lines together like so. The next thing I'll be doing, I'm going to be coming down from the shoulder line, okay, like so, by 1 inch, and connect it to the neckline area like so. So the next thing I'll be doing, I'm going to be taking the round measurement, okay. So the bust measurement divided by 4 plus the sewing allowance. I'll go ahead and take the waist measurement divided by 4, the round waist measurement divided by 4 plus the sewing allowance. So I'll connect both lines together. So the next thing I'll be doing now is that from my shoulder line, I'm going to be coming down by 5.5 inch, okay. So I came down by 5.5 inch. I'll mark it like so. Then I'm going to be connecting it to meet my armhole, okay. That's the chest line area, as you can see, okay. I'll connect it like so. So the next thing I'll be doing now is that I'm going to be getting the midpoint of the armhole area. So from the midpoint, I'll come in by 0.5 inch, okay. So I'll connect it like so to meet the shoulder line, as you can see. So the next thing I'll be doing now, I'm going to be cutting out this pattern. So I'll cut it out from the armhole area to the waistline. So I'm gonna head to cut it out. I've placed it on the back pattern, so I'm using the front to cut the back. I left a zipper allowance of about 2 inch for the back. For the back, so I have 2 inch for the zipper allowance, okay. So the next thing I'll be doing now, I'm going to use the front piece to trace out the back. So at that armhole area, that part I went in by 0.5 inch. I won't be doing that for the back pattern, so I came out from the armhole area by 0.5 inch, as you can see. So I'll just trace out, use the front to cut out everything for the back. So the next thing I'll be doing now is that I'm going to be getting the neckline for the back, okay. So for the back, I came down by 5.5 inch also for the back. So I'll just mark it like so. From the armhole area, I'm going to be coming down by either 3 inch. Oh yeah, I came down by 3 inch for the armhole area. I'll connect the both points together like so, as you can see. So that will be the serve as the neckline for the back. The back will also have a yoke, okay. So I'll just take out a little excess from that armhole area. So this is what I have for both the front and the back. So for the front, I want to do a little adjustment for the front. So I'm going to be going up from, I'll come down from the shoulder line by 3 inch, as you can see. I'll just connect it to meet the center front. So I'll connect to meet the center front like so. The next thing I'll be doing now is I'm going to be cutting it out. I'm going to be cutting out this pattern for both the front and the back. I'll cut out the yoke pattern, okay. So I've gone ahead to cut out for the front, cut out the front yoke. So I'll go ahead and cut out the back yoke, but before then I'm going to be separating the back pieces together, okay. So this is what I have. I'm going to be cutting out that part I marked at the back, but before then I went up by 0.5 inch, okay, before I cut out, because I will be attaching it to a net, so that I'll have allowance to attach it. So I also did the same thing for the front. So the next thing I'll be doing, I'll take the neckline for the back, okay, using the same width for the that of the one I used for the front. So I used the same width, but I used 1 inch depth for the back neckline, okay, against 2.5 inch width. So the next thing I'll be doing, I'm gonna head to use the pattern for the yoke, okay, to cut my net fabric. Okay, I've also gone ahead to cut out my lining, okay, the lining I'll be using for this dress. The next thing I'll be doing is that I cut out 2 pieces for the front yoke, okay. I'm going to be using one to turn the other one, okay. I'll turn it. I'm going to take it to the sewing machine to turn the neckline area, okay, for the front. I'll also do the same thing for the back before attaching it to this main fabric. So I'll do that for the front. I'll also do the same thing for the back, okay. So for the back, I have 4 pieces of the net cut out for the back, 2 for one side, 2 for the other side. So I've gone ahead to sew the front yoke. As you can see, I've also pressed it down. I've ironed it for both the front and the back. I've gone ahead to sew it. Like I said earlier, I cut 2 pieces for one side, 2 pieces for the other side for the back. So this is what I have. The next thing I'll be doing now is that I'm going to be placing it on the fabric. I will pin it down like so. I'll take it to the sewing machine and sew it down, okay. I'll attach the net to the main fabric like so, okay. So I'm going to be sewing from one end to the other end. I'll do the same thing for the back. So I've gone ahead to sew the yoke to the main fabric, as you can see, okay. So I've also done the same thing for the back, okay. So this is what I have at the moment. So the next thing I'll be doing right now is that I've gone ahead to press it down. Also, I'm going to be shaping this the fabric, okay. I'm going to be shaping them together. Before I shape the both front and back together, I'm going to be attaching the shoulder line, okay. I'll sew both shoulder lines together for both the front and the back, and I'm going to be shaping it with the round measurement, okay. So this is the net I'm using for this project, okay. So I have about 2 colors of net here. So one will be underneath while the other one will be on top of it, of one. So the one I'm holding now will be underneath, okay. So I'll place the other darker shade on the lighter one. So I've gone ahead to cut the required length I need for this dress. I have about 8 yards for the light shade of net. Then I also have about 6 yards for the dark shade of net. So for the dark shade, I'll be making use of 2 layers, while for the light shade I'll use 1 layer, okay. So I've cut out the net like so. So you go ahead and cut your preferred length. So this is the door face I'm using for the underlay of the net. So I folded the fabric into 4, as you can see. This fabric is folded into 4. So I'll divide the waistline measurement, okay. I'll divide the waistline by 6.28. You can do 4. You can divide the round waistline by 4, but I divided mine by 6.28 plus the zipper allowance, okay. So I'll just go ahead and mark out the waistline, okay, the round waistline like so. So I'm cutting a 360-degree flay, okay. So I'll just mark it round like so. Then from that mark, okay, I'm going to be getting my length, the required length of the fabric, okay. So I'll connect the waistline area like so, as you can see, okay. So after connecting it, I'm going to be getting the length, the required length, okay. So I'll mark like so. From that point, I'm just basically going to use my tape to just rotate it around like so, okay, to meet the other end. So after doing that, I'll connect all the lines together. Then I'll cut out, okay. So after connecting like so, then I'll just cut out. Okay, so after cutting out, this is what I have. After cutting out, the next thing I'll be doing now is that I'm going to be pleating the first shade, okay, the lighter shade of the net. Okay, so I'm going to be pleating it on the cycle, okay, flea that I cut out. Okay, so after gathering it, I'm going to be gathering it. Okay, I'll gather it. Either you pleat or you gather. After gathering it, I'm going to be placing this other darker shade on the lighter one. Okay, so when I'm done with that, I'll bring it to the camera for you to see what I have done. So this is the result of what I have done, as you can see. Okay, so I've gone ahead to gather all the two to the cycle. So this is it. I have about 3 layers of two nets, okay, gathered on the cycle. So the next thing I'll be doing now is that I'll notch the center point of the upper bodies. Okay, so I'm going to be getting the center point of the cycle. Okay, I'll notch it like so. Then I'm going to be placing the both notches on each other. I will pin it. This is to get the center point. The reason for the notch is to get the center point of the upper bodies and the lower bodies. Okay, so I'm going to be pinning both fabric together like so. I'll pin from the center point, okay, down to the other end and just basically all around. I'll just pin all around like so, as you can see. So when I'm done with that, I'll take it to the sewing machine. I'm going to be stitching from one end to the other end. So this is what I have at the moment when I was done stitching, as you can see. Okay, so this was the end product of what I just did, as you can see. So the next thing I'll be doing now is that I'm going to be introducing my lining. Okay, I'm going to be introducing the lining I'm going to be using to cover up the rough edge, okay, of this dress. So this is the lining for the upper part. So I'll flip it over like so. I'll flip the main bodice over like so. So I'm going to be facing, I'll take in the sense that the net will be in between the center of both the main fabric and the lining. Okay, so I'll place it like so. I'll pin it down. I'm going to be using to sew the neckline area. Okay, I'll need to cover up the rough edge at the neckline area for the front and also for the back. I'll stitch from one end of the back to the front and also to the other end of the back. So this is what I had when I was done stitching, using the lining to turn the make fabric neckline. So the next thing I'll be doing, I'll be introducing the down part of the lining, the flayed part of the lining. So I left the zipper allowance. Okay, I didn't turn the zipper allowance with the lining for both sides, okay, of the back. So this is the lining I'm using for the flay. Okay, this is the lining I'm using for the down part. I also went ahead to cut out flay. For this part, you can do a straight fabric. Okay, if you don't have enough, you can just do a straight fabric and gather it, but it's always preferable to use flay, okay, on a board dress, okay, so that it will have that ease for the child to work very well. So I also went ahead to stitch down the flay part, okay, of the lining to cover up the rough edge, okay, on that part. So the next thing I went ahead to do was to pipe the armhole area, okay, with a bias strip. Okay, so I did that for the both armhole area. So before using the flay to turn the half length of the lining, okay, so I went ahead to cut out this hard net. Okay, so you can do it, you do this one before you use the flay to turn the waist area of the flay of the lining. Okay, so this is the lining I'm using. So I'm going to be pleating this hardness on the lining before using it to turn the inner part. Okay, you know, we already attached the half length. We already used the half length to turn out the neckline. So this is the flay I'm using to turn the half length. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to be attaching this net to it. So this is depending on how full you want the length and also the width of the net. Okay, so I'm going to be gathering this net. I'll gather it to this the lining. Okay, so when I was done, this was what I had. I've gone ahead to gather it, and also what I'll be doing now is that I'm going to be introducing the hard nets that I've gathered on the lining, like so. I hope you can see. So when you are gathering your net on the lining, you come down by 1 inch from the waistline, because you wouldn't want it to be that bulky on the waistline. So I came down by 1 inch, okay, from the waistline area. I gathered the net. I had 2 steps. So that what I said before was that you can do more than 2 steps. You can do as much as 5-6 steps. This is depending on the length you are working with, and also how full you want the dress to be. So when I was done with that, I'm going to be introducing the net that's the lining part. Okay, so I'm going to introduce the lining part of the dress, as you can see. So I'll notch the center of it. I'm going to be notching the center point of the lining part, okay, because I want to attach it to the upper bodice lining. So this is what I had after notching. So the next thing I'll be doing, I'll also go ahead to notch the center part of the half length, the lining. Okay, so I'll notch it like so. So I'm going to be placing both the upper part and the down part. I'll place them like so, the notched part like so, the notches together. So I'll pin it together, okay, so that it doesn't shift. So this way I'm using this flay, the lining flay, to turn the waistline of the lining of the half part. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, so because for this dress I want to do inner finishing. Okay, I want all the rough edges to be inner, so I don't want any shaping, anything outside. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and sew from one part to the other part. So when I was done, this was what I had, as you can see. So I want a clean finishing for the dress. As you can see how neat it is. Okay, you can see how neat it is. If you want a clean finishing, this is the method you are going to use. So this is what I had after I was done using the flay, okay, to turn the half length of the lining. So you can see the armhole area. Okay, I used bias strip for that, like I said earlier. So the more fuller you want it, the more hardness you will add to the dress. Okay, as you can see, so all the rough edges are inside. So the next thing I'll be doing now is that I went ahead to match down all the layers, the net layers, and both the main fabric I used for the flay for the outer side. I matched them together. So I came down from the waistline area by 5 inch, then I stitched down the other parts together. So that 5 inch was for the zipper allowance, okay, that I came down from the back. Okay, so the next thing I'll be doing now is I'm going to be inserting the zip. Okay, so I'll flip it over like so. Okay, I'll flip it over like so. I'll take the main fabric, the zipper allowance I left for the main fabric. I hope you understand. I'm going to be placing my zipper on the zipper allowance that I left for the main fabric. Like I said earlier, that I didn't turn the back neckline, the zipper area for the back neckline. So I'm going to be fixing the zipper like so on both sides. When I'm done, I'll bring it to the camera for you to see. So I've gone ahead to fix the zipper on the main fabric. As you can see, I fix the zipper on the main fabric. I'm just going to zip it down, then I'll take out the excess that I don't want, okay, from the zip. I'm going to be cutting it out like so. Okay, so when I'm done with that, I'll be using the lining to turn the rough edges on the zipper area. So I'm going to be flipping my lining. Okay, I'll flip the lining over like so, as you can see, more like the right side of the lining facing the right side of the main fabric. Okay, so I will go ahead now. I'll finish up the zipper allowance area at the back neckline. I hope you understand. I'll take it like so. After finishing up the neckline, I'll use the lining to turn the rough edge that's on the zipper allowance. Okay, like so. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So I'll place it like so. I'm going to be sewing using the lining to sew it down. Okay, I'll sew it down like so to meet the end. Okay, I'll sew it on both sides. I'll use the lining to turn out the zipper area on both sides. This way I'll have a clean finishing. Okay, I'll have a clean finishing. Everything will be inside. All the rough edge will be inside. I'll have a clean finishing. So I'll do the same thing for both zipper allowance area. Okay, I'll do the same thing. When I'm done, I'll bring it to the camera for you to see. Okay, so I hope you can understand what I'm trying to say. So this is the other part. Okay, you finish up the neckline also. After finishing up the neckline, you just stitch on the zip, the excess zip. You stitch, then you flip it over like so, then you stitch down. Okay, this part is a little bit tricky, but when you follow this video, you will understand what I'm trying to say. So this is what I had when I was done fixing the zip and everything. You can see how beautiful it is. So this is what I had right now. So the next thing you will do, you just go ahead and take out the excess at the net area. Okay, you know it's net, definitely some will be longer than some, then you just take out the excess. So this is what I got when I was done with the zipper area. You can see how beautiful it is. So this way everything, all the excess, all the rough edges will be inside. Okay, so this is what I had. You can see how neat it is. Okay, you can see how neat it is and fine. So the next thing I'll be doing now is that I'm going to turn this over. You can see I'll just turn it over like so. I'll turn it over. You can see this is the back view of the dress. So the next thing I went ahead to do was to cut out these pieces of net. They are about 5-inch width. Okay, so they are about 5-inch width. So I went ahead to cut out as much as I can. Okay, for the sleeve. So this is depending on how wide you want it to be. Okay, and also the fullness. So after doing that, I'll just go ahead and pleat it like so. I'll take it to the sewing machine and just basically just pleat it like so. Okay, I'm making pleats on them. So when I was done with the pleats, was what I had. Okay, so I'm going to be using my needle and thread to fix the ruffles on the shoulder area. Okay, I'll fix it on the shoulder area with my needle and thread. I'll just basically tack it down. So I'll add as much layers that I want depending on the fullness and how bulky I want it to be. So I added as much layers that I can. So for the pleating of the net, I pleated it like double. I pleated it double. I didn't pleat single. I pleated it double. So I had two nets on each other. Then I did the pleating. So when I was done tacking the ruffles to the main dress. So this was what I had after tacking the ruffles to the main dress. You can see after tacking the ruffles, you can go ahead and take out the excess that you don't want. So this is a little strip that I cut out. I went ahead to turn it. I'm just basically inserting a crinoline on it, 1-inch crinoline inside. Okay, I want to use it more like a small bowl for the center front. So if at this point you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please kindly subscribe, turn on the notification bell to get notified whenever I upload a new video. Share this video so that YouTube can recommend this video to other persons. Please kindly help this channel to grow. Okay, thank you for sticking with me. Okay, thank you for also subscribing. So I'm going to be attaching it like so. Okay, I'm going to be attaching it like so on the center front. So I went ahead to cut out fabric for the bow. Okay, for the back I'll place it because I'm making 2 of this dress. Okay, so that's why you are seeing 2 bows there. Okay, I'm placing it at the back. I'm making 2 pieces of this dress. Okay, so I'm using needle and thread to attach the bow to the back. Okay, so I also went ahead to finish up with this design this butterfly design. I hope you can see. So I attach it to the sleeve area and also the down part, the ball area of the dress. You can see how beautiful this dress looks. Okay, so if this tutorial was helpful, kindly hit on the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell to get notified whenever I upload a new video. Help this channel to grow. Thank you for watching. See you on my next one. Bye.